Hello everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would take another look at the workshop and check out 5 different creations today. Some really cool ones. Again, there's been a lot of cool creations. Now, again, I keep on trying to get to different authors. So there are some popular creations out there by authors that I've already looked at stuff from, and I'm trying to avoid those for the moment. It doesn't mean I don't like them. It just means I'm trying to get around to a lot of different authors right now and see some of the crazy things that they're building here. Crazy cool things. So to start with here, what we have is the D4C404 VDuck, which is a combat mobile base by Funog, if I said that right. Funog or Funug. Um, and that is this guy here. And this certainly to me looks like a pretty crazy combat vessel. A lot of weaponry on it. Cool styling and looks. I like the general color scheme of it with the grays and the reds and some texture lights. We'll have to take a look at this in the dark as well. Pretty cool landing gear setup on this, where it's kind of centralized in the middle of the ship. Nice access point right there. Got some more weaponry out the back. Looks like we've got a blast door, a pretty large blast door, probably as a hangar door there. We'll have to check that out too. Strafing thrusters there. Pretty interesting shape and design. It looks like another big blast door up on the top of it. Yeah, again, an awful lot of weaponry. So I'm sure this is meant to shoot stuff, but it's also a base. So let's take a look at this in the dark a minute and get an idea of what those texture lights look like at nighttime. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then we've got nice. I like the textures over the texture lights over the thrusters too on the rim of that. And I always do like well-defined thruster emplacements. You know, when you got like some block work around the thrusters to create that look. This is pretty cool too with the smaller thrusters below that. That's done at an angle. Some pretty cool shaping involved with that. Definitely like that. See what else we got going on here on the front side. Oh yeah. Anyway, this kind of looks like a beast here. I gotta say. Very cool. All right. Well, let's pop around in here. I'll get the light back on for now. We'll see what we got going on the inside here, and we already figured out how to get in it. It's pretty good for me. I tend to have. Oh, that's interesting how the middle door will open up. It looks like there's a larger mechanism here. Let me get out of there. I wonder if there is a particular door switch or sensor that opens up the rest of this, but it looks like the whole area would drop down. These doors would raise up. The blast door opens up, and then you got hangar access getting in here. Have to figure out how that mechanism works. Also seeing a repair bay here, and it looks like a repair console right over to the side. Ramp. Auto. Maybe. That does it. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's cool. Nice big opening to get into the hangar here, using a combination of a bunch of different stuff. We got blast doors, we've got regular louvered doors, we've got these ramps over here, all making up the hangar door. And because of the blast doors, that would offer some pretty good strength from the back of the ship, so the stuff inside the hangar doesn't get shot up as bad. Very nice, very nice. You know, let's take a look at the lighting in here. It's just something I always like to do. Lighting to me is, I mean, when you're out in daylight, you don't have a lot of control on exactly how your rooms look. When you're at night, you can control that the look of a area much better with lights. And so setting it to dark sometimes will really change the look of a room, depending on how the lights are done. Oh yeah, I got to figure this out over here too. Well, anyway, let's maneuver through the ship here. Let's see. So this hangar here, I'm actually, maybe I'm missing it, but I'm not seeing a way necessarily into, oh yeah, it's right here. I am missing it. No, so right over here we get over to a elevator and the staircase over here. Let's climb that up a minute. Wow, this is quite a staircase. It keeps going up, just like a regular building would do. So now we're at floor 1. I guess I could have taken the elevator, but you know, if there's an emergency, you got the staircase. It's always a good thing here. So it looks like we've got a pretty good sized farm over here. I'm guessing 27 grow plots, 3 sets of 9. Grow lights installed over here. Looks like we've got our grow light switch, or 3 of them actually. So for plot 1, plot 2, and plot 3, makes a lot of sense. Nice way to do it, and you can keep those off when you're not, if you don't have anything growing there. We got our fridges and food processors on the sides. And let's see, where does this go? Oh, this goes to a kind of a lower, like a hangout spot or a place to sit down and eat lunch, or yeah, very nice, very nice. Let's get back to the elevator over here, or should I take the stairs? Let's take the stairs. Oh, hey, we got a room right over here too. Okay, so this gets us above the hangar to essentially another hangar. And I'm guessing by how the mechanism is set up here that you could, well, obviously drop down from the top of the ship, or potentially move something up from the lower hangar to this area and ultimately take off through the top of the ship. I wouldn't doubt there is, oh, I'm triggering something here. I'm not sure how I am. Okay, so that, oh wow, look at that. That's interesting. So we've got a layer of blast doors over the hangar doors. So when you're when this whole mechanism opens up, that's really cool. I like how the animation of all that together works. A double door system that opens up that way. Very nice. Now I've got my in-game volume down a little bit, especially with sound effects and stuff. So these doors aren't killing me quite as bad. Well, it's nothing to do with the author. It's just the with multiple doors opening up at the same time, it generally makes a pretty loud noise in gameplay. Not much you can do about that though, except turn your volume down. Okay, so over here we've got a shield and a gravity generator off the back of this this hangar area, and then we go on here. I'm gonna get light on here. I'm not seeing a whole lot of regular lights, so. And a big thruster room over here. It looks like you got access to a whole lot of thrusters around the ship. That's kind of nice if you take some damage, and but they're not destroyed. Or even if they are destroyed, you could put a thruster back in place or fix it up manually. I still like the idea of manually fixing ships, but that can be a tremendous issue if you get stuff blown apart on them. And but it's kind of fun in a way too to fix stuff up manually. So where does this go? Hot, no O2. Okay. I like when we're warned. So over here it looks like we've got a warp drive and taxi tank right below that. Seeing some doors out here. Oh, fuel tanks behind the doors. Nice. Another back door off here. Again, getting into the other side of the ship's thrusters to manually fix those again. So I'm seeing a lot of blast doors throughout here too, so I'm thinking that it's again kind of more compartmentalized. Take damage in one area, you probably keep O2 in another area, as well as those areas will kind of help you fix it up. So coming off this way, it looks like we've got another thruster area. Oh yeah, pretty big one too. So yeah, these ships, this is a pretty good sized ship. Just to know what's going on here, just wanted to take a look at the hull material. So I got to guess by seeing the blocks. Well, no, we got some carbon here. So looks like combat steel, main hull, and then we've got some carbon substrate on the interior for weight reduction and things like that. I'm gonna get lost. I already am. Okay, so anyway, I assume I can get up here from the elevator. So above this, so the second hangar above the first one also has a balcony over here. And then we're going to get to some cargo boxes, nicely labeled, like that. Another room back over here. Looks like a lot of fuel and a big generator. I'm sure you're going to need the big generators. Again, noticing the blast doors getting into the different rooms over here. Let's say we walk across here. Then we've got a looks like a medical area. And right off from the elevator, so I would be on floor 4. Over here, a couple more cargo boxes, CPU cores. Might have missed, yeah, it looks like there's some on the other side that I probably missed. And then another big generator over on this side. Does look like you would have room to add in more parts easily too in many of these locations. So that's always a good thing. Half the fun with Empyrion is whatever ship you might decide to use. If you're using a someone else's creation or even your own, is in gameplay. A lot of times you can do some mods and tweak them out to your liking, things like that. Wow, this door here actually goes out to outer. No, this is sealed. It's just that glass, man. Yeah, that's all glass there. So this is interior part of the ship. This would be the bridge. Touchdown, space on, performance on. Looks like we got a lot of heads-up LCDs about various systems that are on the ship. Back over here, it looks like we get up to the top of the ship to that double hangar door setup. This is really cool. And we got some radar. Looks like there's some retractable multi-turrets here too. So I probably missed it, but I didn't come across, oh, well, here we are. I was going to say, where is the production area? And it looks like it's right here. So we've got nicely labeled bays. This is set up, obviously, to do harvesting through multi-turrets. I'll have to see if it has drills on here as well. A couple, so like advanced constructors right next to the storage bays. No, okay, so this gets to that central staircase elevator setup right off the side here. Looks very nice. So right now, the only ones I've seen so far are 2 320K regular boxes, 1 320K harvest, and 1 ammo. And more equipment there. This has got a pretty nice setup on it, actually. So we've got a decent sized farm. We've got quite a bit of area to store vehicles in multiple different hangars, or be able to even park it on top of one of these hangars if you had a lot of stuff. Yeah, very cool creation. Very cool creation. So let's take a look at some specs here. Looking at size class 9. We already know that the hull material, base material, is combat steel. It does use some carbon substrate on the interior. It's protected with blast doors. Probably has a lot of O2 zones involved in this. 2 main generators. A lot of fuel tanks in this. 19 fuel tanks. So I noticed that when I first spawned it. I normally fuel these things up so they don't run out of fuel when I'm trying to show them. And this one, I think, was, even without adding fuel to it, would have lasted a long time, spawning it in creative mode that I'm in right now. Since CPU, I'm in vanilla, and it looks like this is well equipped for vanilla. I really should have looked at the specs to see if this is happy with Reforged Eden, but I bet you it's not, due to the CPU cores that I've seen in there currently. It looks like we've got 4 of the advanced cores, which would be a setup around a vanilla build. It's got a lot of spare CPU left over to add in more stuff, quite a bit more stuff, almost double the amount of stuff if you wanted to. Weaponry, a lot of pulse laser turrets, rocket turrets, plasma turrets. We've got okay, so it's got 1 multi-turret. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was going to have a right and left on that. 14 cannon turrets, and then we get into our launchers. 6 pulse lasers, 6 rocket launchers. Cannon turrets, sentry guns. Oh, drill. So it has one drill turret as well. So I got to assume one side is a multi-turret, one side is a drill turret. So it doesn't use the fixed drills, but that is cool. So I mean, you can salvage stuff, you can mine stuff, you can shoot stuff, you can store your stuff. You can do a lot of that. Let me get into one last aspect. Take a look at its cargo systems in here. Quite a lot of cargo boxes and things like that. I was pretty sure I was going to miss a lot of these. And I might be underestimating. Now I know already it has 4 320K storage units plus a lot of cargo boxes. I'm just not sure if it has more than that on the actual container systems. I'm guessing it probably doesn't, but 4 is pretty good. And then you got a lot of other cargo boxes as well to put in, sort stuff out. Also kind of important too, having some. I mean, I found even in gameplay too that you might want to have like a box just to put gun, like handheld guns and ammo in, or armor mods and armor pieces and things like that, and those boxes work out quite well for that, where you don't need like a 320K volume for those kinds of things, and to sort them in just a 16K box works out plenty good, a lot cheaper too. Anyway, awesome creation on this one. I noticed this. I thought it looked really cool. Looked like a pretty interesting ship and design. I like the overall colors and the way it's kind of set up. Interesting ideas with the hangar doors protected by blast doors, as well as a staircase next to the elevator. It might be one of the first times I've seen that in a ship set up that way, but it makes a lot of sense. It's a lot how, if you get into any kind of like building that's got a lot of floors on it, you would see something very similar to that. So very, very realistic. All right, next creation here is this is the Cosmos Explorer MK2 by Operculum. Not sure if I said that name right again. I have a way of screwing up names pretty good, but this one I noticed. This is interesting looking ship. It definitely has a huge amount of weaponry on it, and more of a skeletal kind of frame, a little bit more realistic, I would say, to maybe like post-space technologies and things that we might have. Well, short of all the guns probably, but it's Empyrion, and well, guns are kind of needed if you're gonna go shoot stuff with it. So this here is the front of the ship. Really interesting design on this one. I kind of like that. I like all the framework that's around all the different modular aspects of this. Really cool thruster setup. We got turrets off the back side of this as well. But yeah, look at all the framework done on this. And we've got a lot of lift thrusters in there. That's interesting. Kind of like a bunch of like parts of this that are all like put together to make this larger structure here. Very cool. Looks like we got a some sort of top-down hangar from the top, as well as maybe like a minor door over here on the side. Let's see, I'm just looking at the bottom of it real quick here. I want to see if there was some form of access door down here. Probably that, but I just was seeing if there's something else here. All right, so let's hop in here. Okay, so this isn't actually to store vehicles. I don't think you'd fit anything in there. This is just to gain entry to the ship. All right, and we got some lighting too. So let me go to the dark a minute to see how that. There it is. So quite bright in here actually with the lights. So right when you come in, it does have a repair console. So, and it looks like there is a repair bay right there. So I guess maybe you do park something in here, but it's probably more I gotta assume that would be like a HV or SV miner, something pretty small that you would probably get in here to be able to repair it, or maybe something custom made for this ship. Interesting hallway door here, going through the round circle here. Get out of God mode. I'm just gonna walk through that a minute. Yeah, that works out fine. Doesn't obstruct you from walking through there at all. Huh, neat idea. And ooh, look at that. I'm seeing a ramp here, so I must have missed a ramp, I guess, on the bottom. But what I'm thinking is really cool to look at is the decoration on that ramp with, like, especially like these hanging wires and things like that as you kind of see it from a different side. At first I was like, oh, what did the author do there to accomplish this? Look, that looks really neat. But yeah, it's the side of a big ramp. I'm gonna open this up a minute, or maybe I won't. It doesn't want to open up for me. Here, let me get back into God mode and try it again. There it goes. Boarding ramp. So this is the door I did miss on the front. I was wondering if it had something like this. They blend in pretty good, so I just did not see that. Anyway, let's keep on going this way through the corridors here. And this looks like it gets us to an elevator, a storage unit over here, 48K, a container bow. Elevator going up. Let's take this up to the next available floor here. And we've got a 160K medical container here, container system. Gotta have the bathrooms, showers. Oh, someone would have a problem with these shower curtains, but we won't say any names. Personally, I don't really care either way. Oh, crew area. Totally different look and style in this room. Wood grain, different lighting, things like that. It goes from your kind of raw space vehicle look to something a lot more elegant here in this section of the ship. It is definitely cool to see. Hallways and corridors going everywhere. It's another one I'll probably get lost in here. Couple small constructors over here. So whereabouts am I in the ship? Okay, so this is right below the double top hangar door section that we've seen from the outside. So you can park some vehicles in here. Got some crafting, advanced constructor. Yes. Looks like more storage and stuff over here. To take a look at this, so we got a lot of ammo storage, and that's probably a good thing because it's got a lot of turrets on it. In fact, looks like I'm seeing three 320K ammo controller systems right in this area. That is pretty cool. Let's take this down. This really has a pretty neat feel to it, though. Definitely feels like a spaceship. Just getting around in here. Looks like we've got a bunch more controllers in here. Looks like we've got cargo controllers. So the 320 there, 320 there. Right below the feet here, another 320. And another, yeah, okay, we're gonna have to, we'll definitely hit F4 and take a look at the total storage on this ship. But yeah, just in these two rooms here, and maybe I even missed one on this side, come to think of it, or maybe not. Anyway, it's got a lot of storage. Is that one? Oh, there's one up above here too. Yeah, it definitely has a lot of storage. That is cool. That is cool. So obviously you'll be able to carry around a whole bunch of stuff. Now, okay, so we were that way. So we got a radiation zone here, and that's probably the gravity generator, Wi-Fi. Looks like a farm section over here. Done in single lanes on either side. That's a different approach to it. It looks cool. That looks cool. Definitely. And we got our fridges over here, food processor in the middle, another place to chill and eat. medical area over here. That looks nice. I like how the looks with the windows on either side, and a lot of NPC crew on this ship as well. Looks like access to get out, walking over the hull of the ship. That's cool. That looks really neat. You know, at nighttime and stuff, you see all the different detail going on, especially with the framework in the mix, which really sets this off quite well. All right, well, let's go up some more in the elevator here. Again, if I miss a room or two, don't shoot me. There's a lot of rooms in some of these ships, and they get kind of easy to miss. I like this area too. This is obviously where the pilot seat is, and it looks like a lot of NPC crew out here. But it looks a lot like you would expect a bridge area to look. A lot of people doing their jobs. Looks like we got a teleporter right in the mix here. Very nice, very nice. Quite a creative ship, definitely. And again, it looks like it would shoot stuff a lot. So yeah, let's take a look at some specs here. As in guns, I don't even want to rattle off all the numbers here, but it's got a lot of turrets on it. Got 27 rocket turrets alone. Artillery turrets. Not seeing much in the launcher, so this is more of a, oh no, never mind, 10 rocket launchers right in front there. Size class 9 again, so this is another pretty good sized ship. It is running a couple RCS in it. I'm a little concerned about the lift versus the amount of cargo systems that are in here. I'm not sure, but you know, if this is more oriented towards space only, that shouldn't be a thing. But I have a feeling it would have an issue if you filled up all those cargo extensions and try to take off from the ground. Take a look at the hull here. So we got combat steel on the exterior. Just try to take a look at some of the interior blocks to see if we got a second hull or interior material that's different. Doesn't look like it. It kind of looks like it's all combat steel. But then again, the way it's sectioned up like that, you don't. It's got a lot of smaller capsules, I guess you could say, that kind of all interlink together, which is a really cool concept. But then you probably won't have much opportunity to use like just interior walls and things like that, because you need to shield those outsides from getting shot at. I'm just curious about the interior sections here. Let's get the light back on too. Okay, so pretty much solid combat steel here. Alright, let's take a look at the CPU on this. Looks like this is a tier 4 again. It's I'm pretty sure it would be vanilla. If it was Reforged Eden, this number wouldn't play out right, because you could have Reforged Eden cores involved, which would screw up this number. If you add in like a couple of the improved cores of the basic core, this wouldn't come out right. It would not work out in vanilla that way. Anyway, very cool ship. Kind of wonder how it does in combat. It looks like it would probably be pretty effective. It's almost kind of looks like more of a broadside ship, because the most all the turrets looks like they would be firing off to the side, which is pretty cool. So you could fly up alongside of something and just blast it, probably on either direction here. And yeah, the vanilla CPU allows for an awful lot of turrets. I'm giving you 10 million CPU for a tier 4 capital vessel. I can, if you're not following the in-game stock weapon limits, which I actually don't particularly like very much myself, yeah, it gives you a lot of equipment, a lot of weaponry you can put on a ship in vanilla. Anyway, awesome work on this one. Definitely like it. Very cool and unique look. so creative. I mean, look how much different these two are from one another, and it's endless on what you can make. It's absolutely insane that way. So the next one we've got here is based on Star Wars, and it's called the Star Wars. Man, I'm gonna screw up this name. Arquitens. Arquitens. I told you I was going to screw up the name. And this MK2 by Havoc. This cool ship design. I mean, I'm kind of a fan of Star Wars ships anyway, so I definitely think the Star Wars franchise has some pretty good looking ships on it. A lot of the wedge shaped or variations of the wedge shaped ships. This one actually looks like it. Man, is this that one from The Mandalorian? Kind of. This thruster back here kind of reminds me of that, but I'm thinking I could be screwing that up too. Maybe it's not. But I got to say, it looks really cool. Again, a Star Wars characteristic, wedge shaped with like a upper and lower beam over a lot of busy work in between. Standard design model, or a lot of Star Wars ships follow that kind of design characteristic of it. This is some interesting stuff going on over here too. Weird looking bay door. It's cool. I like this this section down here in the center too, where it is dividing the two areas together with a big area in the middle. That is pretty slick. This ship again has quite a bit of weaponry on it. Maybe not as much as the last couple ships I looked at, especially the last one, but it still has a pretty good amount of weapons on here. I do like the stance. I'm also taking a look at all the landing gear on the bottom of this. That is pretty cool. I mean, you would think something like this would be really heavy, and that kind of makes sense that it would have a lot of landing gear to support the weight of this. Also like the bridge up here. Yeah, and that thruster setup back here is really cool to see too. Definitely like that. Arquitens. Did I say it better that time? I don't know. All right, so let's find a way aboard here a minute. I know we can get in through there, but I'm just thought I would scan the bottom, see if there's some doors. Ah, yes, right in the dead center middle. Ooh, this is looking neat. Let me get to mood lighting here. Yeah, this is neat. Wow, you come in, so we got a force field on the bottom, so done even differently. So, and that kind of makes sense. You know, a lot of these big Star Destroyers and things like that, you'd see that they have a big loading bay at the bottom, and ships would be able to fly up and in, or ramps come down, things like that. Really cool. I like the color and look here. There's kind of a lot to see, and it's cool. It's cool. You're seeing some big LCDs, some blue lights, some white or gray lights, I believe, in the mix. Docking bay. A lot of work done with texturing on the flooring, things like that. Armor locker. So it looks like we got a lot of our function right here to right ramp. Right ramp. I heard something. I'll have to figure out what that did here. Oh, look at this. We got an elevator hanging over here that goes up to this. Oh, wow. I'll have to check that out. That looks really cool. We got some crafting over here. Looks like we got a 90K controller. Storage. Controller in. Constructor. Oh, we got a walkway out the back over there. Kind of a walkway along the back of the hangar, going between these doors over here. Oh, connects to an elevator down in the hangar, which walks up over here. Yeah, there's a lot of detail going on. It's just you gotta stop and look at all the different intricacies that are at play here. But yeah, it looks really cool. Looks really, really cool. Hallway system. Looks like we've got. Okay, I believe that's a passenger seat. Small elevator there. Cargo box up above. So we're still kind of going around the hangar area here. The passenger seat. For a co-op ship too, that works out. Everybody can, you know, if you're hanging out in the hangar doing the crafting and stuff like that, and something happens, people can jump into these seats here right away, and someone can fly the ship. We'll have to get to the main bridge. I'm sure it's got a place over there. Oh, look. So now we're into the engineering section here. This looks really cool too. I like the lighting. Accents areas nicely, but it leaves some other areas really dark, like the ceiling, which is meant to look that way, but it makes all the walls and the colors and everything really accent here. So it looks like this. Okay, so this would connect us to that these outdoor areas through that interesting setup going on there. Like the hallways, this certainly has that Star Wars kind of feel to it. The hallways with the neat looking side pieces around them. Definitely like that. I don't do that much on my own ships, usually because I'm struggling for space, and I might have a hallway contain less blocks. But I like it. I do like that. I think that is pretty cool. I like the angled approach over here too. And I'm just checking out what's going on here with with this on the side. So these, I gotta assume, are decals. I'm just gotta experiment with this a minute. I want to see what's going on here. No, those are not decals. That's okay. It's that texture. It's the lights on that texture, but done on these blocks. They show up like that and make a smooth strip across. Didn't know that. It's pretty cool. It's not done with decals or LCDs. Ah, nice idea. Pretty slick how this all lined up that way. Didn't expect that. Never tried it. So what we got going on in here? First, emergency escape pods. Hold on to emergency protocol. Oh, okay, so that's what this. Oh, okay, so maybe there's some SVs or something here that would fit in these bays here for escaping. You know how these Star Wars ships are, though. They can get really big and massive, but then they usually have like some fatal flaw in every one of them that you put one well-placed shot and the whole thing blows up. So it's good to have escape pods. I'm not saying that with this Greeks, I'm just saying that typical for, you know, like the movies and Death Stars blowing up and things like that. Nothing to do with this ship. Forbidden entry over here. Okay, so this gets into offline protection and a gravity generator. Yeah, the whole hallway section around this, I mean, it really does have that Star Wars feel to it. I mean, the way this is done, this is kind of like the kind of stuff you'd see in the movies and shows. Fits quite well. And let's see. So basically, I want to find my way up into this ship. I know this thing's it's a big ship. We just wanted to figure out how do I get to the bridge and things like that. Oh, engineering. I didn't see this room yet either. Ooh, it's got some red color in here. Oh, look at the interesting railings over here. That is pretty cool. So we got some generators. Looks like. Bunch of generators. There's a lot going on here. It's just I got to keep on like looking a couple times here. It looks like almost like this is intended to be like a force field floor. Didn't notice it a whole lot, but with the light on, you see these armored glass windows that are above this section here, and then kind of carry on through. Wow, it's got some even more color going on here. We've got look at all the different colors in this one scene. That is cool. That's quite a ship. Quite a ship. Of course, you know, I'm a little lost in it, but yeah, I'm lost in a lot of ships. I've been here already. I'm just trying to figure out how to get to the bridge, and it's probably really obvious, and I'm probably just missing a central corridor somewhere in here. But I'm going to cheat. Kind of like going through a maze at the bottom here. I'm going to go up to the oh, this isn't the main bridge either. This is like a sub bridge over here. Passenger seats. Let's see. How do we get into this zone? I don't know. I'm missing a doorway here. Oh yes. Look at that. Oh, it's a trap door. That's something I didn't expect. Huh. Man, full of surprises. Got some more crew stuff over here. Nice. Holy crap. Okay, so this looks like a main elevator system here that will keep on going up, probably to the main bridge. But this corridor looks really, really cool too. Again, done with the round or the reversed round blocks on the sides here. Definitely has that sci-fi Star Wars feel to it for sure. What do we got going on over here? So this gets us up above a shield. Some other equipment in here, which is actually over this back room. I don't think I've seen this room before yet either. No, I haven't. So we got our core blocks over here. By the looks of it, I'm guessing again that this is a vanilla build. Crew quarters. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of places in here. Ha, cute. Alright, so I lost my place on that central elevator. Let me get up to the top bridge here. And yeah, that would be right down there. How you get here. Shield offline. I got a pilot seat there. Bunch of people up here. NPCs. We actually got an NPC right up front here too. Interesting. So yeah, if you get in a battle with somebody, this guy would get blown up before you do, sitting down in the one of the looks like this one over here where you pilot the ship. Anyway, very, very cool ship. Again, love the Star Wars design. I mean, I totally wish, and I'm sure like everybody that makes Star Wars style wedge design ships would love to have some blocks that can do like a 4-to-1 angle, because this is kind of the only way you can pull that off, is to kind of have a bit of a wiggly thing, because the blocks only do a 22.5 degree angle at most. So it is what it is, and honestly, considering those limitations with the blocks, this came out amazingly well. So awesome work on this. Definitely awesome work on this. All right, so the next one is the NSC CV01 RF Starter by Annie Noem. Or Noem. And that is this guy over here. So this is a little starter ship. I haven't, probably should have looked if this was RE or not. I'm sure I'll be able to tell pretty easily here by the specs. This is a small, I'm assuming low cost starter vessel. Get you off the ground, get you up and running. Usually one of the first main goals most players would want on a fresh playthrough. Starter vessels are some of the most popular ships on the workshop too. This one's it's really cool. It's got I like this this cockpit going on here, and this angle looks pretty good with this these side pieces, and you can see the thin block layer above that. That just accents it a bit more here. Now, I was kind of looking through this author's workshop, and there's a lot of things that look really, really interesting to me. I didn't want to pick them all. There is so many, but very cool looking design on this. Interesting idea on how this is set up back here. So we have a ramp that can get you to the back of the ship, and then you can park something up on top. I gotta assume that there's no hangar door back here, which makes a lot of sense. You can get right to the top of the ship that way, and it looks like you can gain access there. And it looks like, oh, I like these. I like these side doors here. That's cool. Neat way to do the entry point to the ship. When you first get in, so we've got some a little bit of information here about the future placement of a teleporter. Constructors. Definitely have some storage over here. Oh, it just dawned on me. I never looked at the specs of the last ship again. Man, I gotta get better with that. I'll do it after looking at this ship. We got our main CPU core, Wi-Fi, gravity, generators, O2 fuel, warp core, location. So yeah, a lot of business down in this room. Set up for a lot of upgrading, I would dare say. Can easily exchange warp shield features. Yeah, well, it's a starter CV, and honestly, with starter CVs, you kind of expect, if they're done right at least, that a player can add a lot more functionality to them. So you can use the starter CV for quite a bit longer period of time, and upgrade it, and eventually, usually, especially in like reforging and things like that, you want to get something crazier, or like some other combat vessel or something like that. Moving down the road here, let's take a look at our hull material. Yeah, I was assuming it was going to be steel, which is pretty typical. It's pretty hard to pull off more than steel with a starter ship, because you're just not going to have the CPU available to do so, to get enough lift thrust on it to lift those up. But shields do quite a bit of work as well there. Alright, so we've been there, and then we go straight up to the top. So yeah, the interior space is relatively small, but the ship is small, and this is where these kind of ships you're gonna see the greatest thing here. So this is a tier 1, fits in the tier 1 Reforged Eden CPU quite well. I believe this is Reforged Eden. Probably totally compatible with vanilla as well. Usually, that's something I found with a lot of the starter ships I made too, that the numbers play out pretty good on the starter CV range between vanilla and Reforged Eden. Other things don't play so well, so SVs and HVs sometimes, and bigger ships. But starter ships tend to play out pretty good. I was surprised. Most of the ones that I made for vanilla are totally compliant with Reforged Eden, without making any modifications to them. So that was always good to know. Stat-wise, looks like we've got some for the size ship it is. It's got some pretty good lift on it. Things like that. I'll have to check out the storage on here too. It's kind of an important aspect. So we've got a CC input at 184K, output at 16K, ammo box 14K, CC main another 184K, fuel miscellaneous. Looks like we got some sorter boxes. That might be a good term to call them. So about 300. Well, you got 184. So what is that? 368K storage, I'm guessing. That's quite a bit. It's quite a bit for a starter vessel. And yeah, very nice design. Looks like it would do the job just fine. One thing I did not look at though is our build time, and look at that build time. 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's low. That's low for a starter ship for sure. I think on most of mine I was not able to achieve under 2-hour build time. Maybe I pulled that. Maybe the smallest, the Scarbago, was a little bit under 200 or 2-hour build time, but this one is definitely on the cheap side of things. Unlock level 10. So anyway, looks like a really nice, practical, useful in-game starter CV. Excellent work. Love those. All right, so the next one here is the battle cruiser Amagi, and I cannot pronounce the name. It is in I believe Chinese, and the symbols, I do not know how to read that, but I noticed this one on there, and it had a really cool screenshot. And this was just kind of one of these random pics. I didn't see it like in the spotlights or any place necessarily sticking out there, but it looked like a really cool shaped ship from the picture. So I wanted to like pop in and take a good look at what this is. Yeah, definitely kind of a combat-oriented ship, I would say, especially due to its name as well. Would make a lot of sense. And it looks like it has a pretty tried and true layout to it, I would say. Well, we'll see. We do have a hangar in back. I like these turrets over here. These fixed weapon turrets made to look like a big, like rotatable battleship type turret gun setup. Got a top landing deck on here with a repair bay. Looks like access to the inside of the ship from that bay. And then on the back side here, we've got a hangar. Pretty clean inside of here. Let's do a light thing here a second just to see what that's going to look like at night or in space. We've got some fuel on the sides, blast doors getting into this section over here, a bunch of cargo boxes. We've got a storage controller in here at 320K. This is A. Elevator system with its own O2 environment. Constructor, another 320K storage over there. Another constructor. Lots of boxes. So this would be your main processing area here, right off from the hangar. That's a nice, convenient location. Looks like we got an elevator here. Ramp 2x1. Okay, that's kind of cool. Oh yeah, look at this. We got a medical bay over here. I like how all the rooms are set up. That's pretty neat. Another elevator over here. Stairs, fuel room, another 320K storage unit up over here. Yep, regular storage. And let's go across the elevator. Teleporter room. Go to the top of the elevator, and wow. We'll go forward here in a minute here. Crew room over here. Couple crew rooms. Oh wow, That is one brightly lit bathroom. That's cool. That's cool. That's I kind of like that actually. And that would connect to the other elevator that we kind of passed on the way. Let's go all the way to the front here. And looks like we've got more crew rooms. And with their own bathrooms. And wow, just a lot of there's a lot of like NPC function in this, or roleplay function. And we got a whole bunch more crew beds over here as well. You know, when you're thinking in reality, though, that would be more realistic. I mean, when you get any of these larger ships, unless they're just completely operated by, you know, autonomous measures, you would need a lot of crew on them, and that's the reality of how things are currently, too. So that does make a lot of sense. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to fly back into the ship here a minute. Looks like we got a central area, or area along the sides of the hangars here, which are going to contain a lot of the big parts, generators, thrusters. I did see a generator in here, didn't I? Oh, no, that was more in here. And then we've got our warp core, which I didn't even notice, but it was out in this section over here. Alright, let's see. How do we get up to the bridge? I know there's all these elevators. I got myself lost, obviously, but I'm finding rooms I didn't see before either. Like this room over here, and it looks like we've got this hallway that goes alongside of that. And then we're to a elevator. Whereabouts am I in the ship? It's kind of below where the bridge is, but not entirely. All right, let's go up to the bridge and then backtrack from there. Okay, so here's our bridge, pilot seats, passenger seats, main elevator right here, and that shoots it. Okay, so it's basically the central elevator that I kind of walked past a couple times, right off from the production area. So that makes a lot of sense. So from hangar to crafting, straight up to the bridge, pretty quick and efficient layout there. Alright, well, let's take a look at the specs here. Unlock level 5. Again, a pretty decent amount of weaponry on here as well. 12-hour and 21-minute build time. I would say vanilla CPU again. And it has more CPU available. About 150,000. No, I got that wrong. 1.5 million. Just 10 times different. No big deal. No, really cool ship. Really cool ship. You know, one thing I didn't look at is its thruster specs. Holy crap. Alright, so this one's got a lot of lift thrust on it. Looks like it's quite maneuverable all the way around. So quite a bit of big thrusters. Hull material looks like steel. That's probably, well, not necessarily. No, we've got quite a mix. Actually, I'm seeing steel in some areas. We got some combat steel. I've seen some hardened steel. So I have a feeling that this was built probably in the best manner, which would be usually the hardest amount of work to do, to figure out exactly how strong you want each area to be and use the appropriate material. That does add quite a bit of complexity to a build and makes it take longer. But yeah, it is probably the best way to go, though. I mean, there's some areas that you know, if you don't have to use combat steel in certain areas, then don't use it, because it weighs a lot, and you just need more thrust, you need more generators, you need more everything else to compensate for that. So if you can avoid the weight, you're just going to have a faster ship. unless it's gigantic and super crazy. But very cool design on this one too. So I'm gonna get back to that Star Wars ship again and take a look at the specs. This guy over here, I do like this ship. This is a really cool ship. I just forgot to do this earlier. So this was unlock level 11. About a little over 18-hour build time. A little bit, it might be a little light on the lift on it. It has a lot of forward thrust though. Now, when you're dealing with ships and like landing on the ground, if they have a fair amount of cargo, let's take a look at the cargo on here as well. I don't know exactly how much cargo. I wish there was a calculator. You know, it would be like a ship stat that would add up the total amount of cargo space between all the cargo boxes and controllers. So you could just look at a number, because you know, again, I would have to add up like every single one of these to really know how much storage it actually has on it. But it would be an interesting stat to know. But this one I don't think had too many controllers. We got a couple ins and a couple outs here, and then a couple ammos. So that makes a lot of sense, unless some of these are in fact controller systems. But I would suspect a lot of these are probably boxes. So anyway, some really cool stuff again. Yeah, you know, every time you go out there, it's just more and more stuff. And right now, again, I keep on trying to get to authors I haven't looked at stuff from before. At some point, though, I'll start going back to some authors I have looked at things from before. It's just maybe take a look at their new stuff or something super special they have in their workshop. Or, you know, some authors, just everything on their workshop super special. So there's a lot of stuff to continually look at. So before I end this video, I know it's probably stretching on decently long. There it is. Just a quick update on the Perses. More construction has been taking place now, and no fuel. Forgot to fill my own ship up. So this one here, I've on the last video I asked what to do with that room, and that's basically what I wanted to show you this time. Don't mind my screwed up areas here. I spent a lot of time on this room section, and let me get back in there and show you what I'm talking about. So inside right now we're looking about like this. God, it looks dark now again. It looked brighter when I was working on it last time. So I'll probably have to tweak out the lighting. So what I really spent my time on was this hallway section, and this took way longer than I thought it was going to take. So I got to get a little bit more light here. My ship's a little dark, and I got to work that out. Well, anyway, no, I got to keep it dark to show you what I was going to show you. So we've got a forward bridge now, right next to the teleporter, right off from the elevator. And this forward bridge is set up for passengers as well. So it's a bigger room. You got your pilot seat. Yeah, me too. I thought I would try a different. I always use the one pilot seat. I thought I would try to be a little different this time. I don't know. Whatever. Pilot seats are pilot seats. Inside of here too, some convenience things. I notice when I'm in game sometimes, it's like we're getting ready to go somewhere and I'm screwing around. I don't have any food on me. My oxygen's gonna run out. I don't have any armor on. I screw up a lot of things. But anyway, I figured I'd put some real basic utility in this particular area. And I figure this might be used probably more than the main bridge since it's a lot shorter walk. Going down here though, we got the forward bridge, we've got the hollow chamber, and then we've got the fuel storage room and the Perses lounge. Now, I might have went a little overboard trying to make this look loungy or unique. So I don't know if I'll keep this little front thing here, but you know, I haven't done more with the lounge yet. I think I did one more modification with lighting to change it a little bit. Again, I'll keep on tweaking that. This is the major new area, and this one took a while to do. In suggestions, I asked what could I do with the room, and there was a comment that said like the holodeck, from Star Trek. I didn't want to call it holodeck because it's what they call it in there, so I just called it a hollow chamber. This is all fluff, by the way. So, but when you first come in here, you got like kind of your outside room, and then you actually have your hollow chamber over here. Now this area I do want to back with some LCDs and things to give it a kind of a look, but essentially it's a fluff room that I had some fun trying to make it look a little Tron-like or something. I don't know. Different. Never had one of these before in a ship. This is new for me, and I love those new ideas, and that's why I kind of jumped at that one. I was like, ooh, that'd be fun to do. I don't want to make something I've already made before, so how about a hollow chamber? Now, a couple other wacky little things, too, is I had some miscellaneous areas in this ship that were just kind of awkward and out of the way. I couldn't really incorporate them with rooms, so I started setting up a little bit of ductwork in the ship, which actually gives you some access to some parts, so it's not completely in vain. But, so you've got this, like, section that you won't even know is here in the ship, and it's kind of going through the ceiling of areas. It's just weird. So I got a Wi-Fi unit up there. Just I don't know if that needs to be there or not, but hey, why not? Pipe thing. If you wanted to put something over there, you could. It gives you access. It's really dark up here, but it is a ductwork. I didn't really want to put in lights and ramp up the size class too much with adding this stuff. So you got a couple fuel tanks over here. You got this weird mechanism that kind of comes down here, and you can drop down. You probably didn't even notice it from outside, but there's up above one of these. It gets into the ductwork by the farm, and then you can take this other little vent over here, and you can literally drop down right above the pilot seat. Why I did this, I don't know. I was having fun. I don't think it'll affect much of anything in the end, but it's just something more, something different. Who knows? If there's opportunities in other areas of the ship, maybe I will add in some more little kind of out of the way ductwork. I guess it's kind of fun. To me, it's I guess if you're exploring the ship and you didn't know that stuff was there, it'd be kind of a surprise that you're walking through and had no idea that literally there's other corridors in the ship that you don't know exist. Kind of fun. Maybe add a little character to a ship. I don't think it's really besides upping the size class a little bit because of the blocks I used. I don't think it's not really going to cost anything in the end. So that's basically where I'm at now. One last thing I wanted to say. Now I was thinking maybe I'd have this done by this weekend, but it's already Friday, and honestly, no, I'm not going to have it done by this weekend. I got too much to do yet. I still got to do the bridge. I got to do a room over on this side. I've got to do a lot of LCD stuff, and I'm really trying to take my time with this one and just tweak out every area as much as I possibly can. And there's some areas like down in engineering over here too. Like this area, I'm not entirely content with yet. It's all right. I'm trying to make it look a little bit better, but I'll just have to keep on investigating to see if there's ways I can make this prettier. Yeah, and that's kind of what it's about. Also, another feature that I did want to have in here. Now, right now I have a core here. Not sure if it's going to stay there. Probably won't. But another suggestion, this was from a video last week, that someone was suggesting have like a core location right in the front somewhere here where you can put that there, maybe behind a couple blocks of combat steel. So the AI would shoot at, say, this section of the ship, and if they disable it, they disable it. You're saving the rest of your ship. I thought that was a pretty good idea. I don't want to put the core there by default, but I would like to have a location to put a core there. So that shouldn't take too long. And then I was thinking probably in the back of the ship, I think I mentioned this before, that I might also put in a couple core locations that are probably somewhere back, I don't know, somewhere out in these areas. I haven't really worked that out yet. I guess when I build out those rooms, I'll figure that out. So I've got a room here on either side to do. I've got a room area over here to do. I've got to still finish up this this central corridor going down here. Hopefully, it shouldn't take too long. And then I got to build up the bridge up over here yet. And then I think I'm done with all the interior areas of the ship. But it is making progress. Hopefully, you know, hopefully not that much longer before release. But I'm thinking like you know, Saturday or Sunday. It's very unrealistic. It took me too long to do these little things like the hollow chamber and messing with that. And it's because I'm out of my experience. You know, like trying something new is why something like this takes so long to do. I didn't have a standard formula like what I've done before to match this. Not that this is anything crazy complicated or anything. It's just, it's different. It's out of my element. I had to do a lot of experimentation with lighting, with colors, with all kinds of stuff. And I still don't know if I like my little, how the walls are kind of curvy right there. Maybe I'll change that again. But a lot of just, you know, you tweak this, you tweak this, you tweak that some more. I did that with the past Perses carriers. I definitely want to do it with this one. So that's kind of where it's at. And I also, yeah, I do want to, next week, plans on next week, I want to do an actual build video, again, start a new project, and it'll be for Excalibur's challenge to make a scout or reconnaissance style SV. So I think that might be a good one to do in a build video sessions. Be kind of fun to do, and it'll be a new project. This one it just takes so long to do every little part of this that it would be really, really long, boring videos to see. And so much of my time too, I'm just looking at things like, what could I do here? What could I do there? How am I going to do this? How am I going to fit this? How can I put a light where I want it instead of where I can possibly put it? Where am I going to fit all the LCDs? Hide them or make them work at the right angle? Just a lot of things like that. Well, anyway, you all have yourself a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed this, and awesome creations by everyone yet again. It's just so much. This is such a creative game, and you gotta really appreciate that. That there's just endless amounts of stuff to do. One last thought. I was thinking, what if my hard drive blew up and I didn't have any backup of this ship and I totally lost it? And my goal was I wanted to rebuild it. Is that possible? And my conclusion was no. That there's no way I could rebuild this ship exactly how it was. Again, and that just kind of tells you about like the workshop. Like even if I looked at this ship and spent like 2-3 hours studying this ship and then said, okay, go over there and build it the same, it would end up being different. Maybe I'd follow some similarities, but it would be a different ship entirely. And it's just interesting to think that way, that every time you start another build, even if you had something directly in mind, you're going to come up with something different every time you do it. I don't know. Whatever that means, who cares? You all have yourself a good weekend. I'll talk to you later.